Welcome in to Let's Fill My Swamp 2.0 with your host, Donald J. Trump. And yes, in this breaking story, yet another person in Trumposphere surrounding one of his cabinet nominees, or in this case, his transition team, is oddly under severe investigation. I know this should not come as a shock, but it just continues. And if you haven't noticed, it's only mid-December. We haven't even gotten to January 20th. And yet, nonetheless, Trump, who's going to drain the swamp, which all he does is fill the swamp, and I have the best people, and they all know how to negotiate, and they're fabulous. Yeah, they're fabulous because they all seem to know exactly how to break the law. So in this breaking story, a person exceptionally close to Mr. Trump and exceptionally strong in the transition team is up to his ankles in deep doo-doo. Here, take a listen.
Both the New York Times and the Washington Post report Boris Epshteyn was investigated by Trump's legal team for allegedly shaking down those looking to secure a job in the administration. Joining us now, former Trump White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Matthews and former Assistant District Attorney with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office and MSNBC legal analyst Catherine Christian. So the reporting suggests that Boris Epshteyn was looking for a lot of cash from those who were trying to get cabinet positions, including Scott Bessent, Bessent, I'm going to get it right, who's now the Treasury Secretary, asking for tens of thousands of dollars, including an investment in a 3-on-3 basketball league.
I want to talk to you about my job.
Sinclair is the most controversial media company.
I'm in the analysis, opinion, and commentary business.
But who really is Boris?
I think there's been a little bit of this narrative driven that I'm some sort of, a really hard-charging person and maybe to a degree not nice. Everyone thinks they're a nice person, right? But I like to think of myself as a pretty nice guy. Fidelity, bravery, let the negotiations begin.
If you didn't catch that underneath the audio, Boris literally uses the word integrity. You sure about that? You sure you have some integrity? Because I got bad news for you, Boris. It doesn't seem like you have much. Not when you're running around like a car salesman and a snake oil salesman trying to get cash for Trump cabinet picks. The most tragic thing in Trump's first presidency, or any crook, is how long it takes for the truth of the crook to come out. This breaking story exposes you. And here it is.
Two top Senate Democrats are calling on Donald Trump's picks to be required to disclose any communications with the president-elect's longtime advisor and lawyer Boris Epshteyn. Allegations recently surfaced that Epshteyn was soliciting financial payments in connection to potential appointments in Trump's cabinet. Our Dan Kleitman joins us now. Dan, thanks for being here. What are you learning about what Senate Democrats want to hear about Boris and his interactions?
Well, Robert, thanks for having me. We got a hold of this letter earlier today, and basically Democrats are looking to continue to put pressure on the incoming Trump administration and the Trump transition to really look into these allegations against Boris Epshteyn. Sheldon Whitehouse, Senator Whitehouse, and Senator Dick Durbin, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, sent this letter to Lindsey Graham and Senator Chuck Grassley, who is the incoming chair of the Judiciary Committee, and is putting pressure on them, subtle pressure, but pressure nonetheless, to get them to continue to ask questions as part of the confirmation process. So they've asked that all of the nominees preserve their records and provide to the committee any communications they had with Boris Epshteyn about these allegations and about whether he sought to get payments from them in exchange for helping them with their nominations. I should say that Epshteyn has denied these allegations. A source with the transition told CBS News that this is a pathetic lawfare tactic. But nevertheless, there are people really on both sides of the aisle who are I think looking to continue to probe these allegations and to make sure that they are part of the confirmation process to get to the bottom of what happened.
Dan Kleitman, thanks for your reporting. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're just now hearing, after all these years, about the potential $1.7 billion Trump made off himself as president, not to mention Jared's money from the Saudis and Ivanka's illegal patents from the Chinese, but we're still worried about Hunter's laptop. The problem is is that this guy genuinely thinks he's the Godfather. He genuinely surrounds himself with a cast of characters that would look like a mob outfit. And the biggest problem for us is we're not even going to be able to know all of the criminal things he does in his second presidency until, unfortunately, it's well after his presidency. And yet it amazes me, and I wonder at what point will the 47+% of Americans who voted for this man finally going to realize he is in no way out to help you. He's only here to help himself. It's a different book. It's called The Art of the Steal. Stay frosty.